Psychologists who have studied the growth of children say that this can be divided into various distinct periods. These periods of growth correspond with phases of physical growth, and the psychological changes are so marked that we sometimes use exaggerations like development is a series of rebirths. The first of these periods is from birth to 6 years and can be subdivided into birth to 3 years, and 3 to 6 years. It is the first period that this video is going to concentrate on, and more specifically discuss what is called the absorbent mind at work in this stage. The second period is from 6 to 12 years of age. The third is from 12 to 18 and can be subdivided into 12 to 15 years of age and 15 to 18 years. This third period, like the first period, is of significant change. The fourth period is from 18 to 24 years. Coming back to that first period of growth, and specifically to the phase from birth to 3 years of age, the adult cannot exert any direct influence on the mind of the child. In fact, there are no schools for children of this age group. It is in the second phase of this period, from age 3 to 6, that the child begins to be open to adult influence. However, throughout this first period of development, from birth to 6 years, the child is soaking up everything around herself through the 5 senses: sound, sight, touch, smell, and taste. The child is literally like a sponge, absorbing from the environment around her via the 5 senses. This is what we mean by the absorbent mind. One may, quite rightly, argue that most humans, irrespective of age, are absorbing from the environment via the 5 senses. Spot on. However, here is the fundamental difference between the absorbent mind of the child from birth to 6 and a mind of any other age group.
In the words of Maria Montessori, impressions pour into us and we store them in our minds, but we ourselves remain apart from them, just as a vase keeps separate from the water it contains. Instead, the child undergoes a transformation. Impressions don't merely enter his mind, they form it.
This process of impressions forming the mind is called incarnation. This is the fundamental characteristic of the absorbent mind at work, from birth to 6 years. The child's mind is formed by what is absorbed from the environment around her, via the senses. In the words of Maria Montessori, the child learns everything without knowing he is learning it, and in doing so, he passes little by little from the unconscious to the conscious. What is now obvious is the importance of the first period of growth. It is the foundation of the following periods of growth. Now that we have understood what we mean by absorbent mind and its role in forming the mind of the child during the first period of growth, let us understand another important concept that is closely linked to the absorbent mind. Sensitive periods. During this first period of growth, the child is attracted or pushed towards a certain aspect of the environment, which will help them acquire a particular human characteristic. This attraction or push occurs for a fixed time frame, after which it will stop, even if the child has not acquired the characteristic. A new push begins towards another aspect in the environment. which will help the child acquire another human characteristic. These time frames of attraction are called sensitive periods. The push towards a particular aspect of the environment comes from within the child and not from the outside world. When the child is attracted towards one specific aspect of the environment, he remains indifferent to other aspects of the environment. The sensitive periods are, and not in any order, coordinated movement, language, order, sensory learning or refinement of senses, social behavior and skills, and tiny objects. There are some broad external manifestations of the child in a sensitive period. Some of them are asking to repeat a song or story multiple times, mimicking, intense concentration, and compulsive or obsessive behaviors. Before we conclude this video, it is important to note that while a sensitive period for a particular human characteristic may end, even if the child has not acquired the characteristic, studies show that these can be acquired later during childhood and adolescence. Research also shows that humans are able to learn and remember new things in motor and cognitive domains throughout their lifespans. Thus, parents who believe that their children need to be introduced to classical music before a particular age, or parents who are looking at creating a genius at a young age, need to understand that such ideas or thoughts are not backed by scientific research. That wraps up the absorbent mind and sensitive periods. We hope you liked the video.